Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Today's title is How Does He View You Right Now? Now, listen, this is not surface level. This is not what he says. This is not what he shows. We're about to uncover what's actually going on inside this man's head. Because let's be real for a second. If you've been feeling like he's watching you, thinking about you, moving a little different, acting interested but not fully revealed his hand, it's not your imagination. Something shifted, and today is when you find out what it is. We are pulling back the curtain on how he really perceives you, what he notices that he doesn't admit, and why you're not just another option. We're going to find all of that out and what makes you stand out in his mind compared to everyone else. And here's the thing, this man is not confused, he's processing. And there's a big difference. So by the end of this reading, you're going to understand why he can't see you casually, why your presence lingers, and why the power dynamic is not what you think it is. So if you've been wondering, what does he really think about me? Why does this feel unfinished? And why do I feel like he sees me differently? This is the moment you get answers. Now, real quick, before we jump into pile one, for a limited time, I'm still offering my 3 for $33. You can ask me any 3 questions about this man, a new relationship, new love, your career, your money, or if you just need spiritual coaching, I got you. The link is in the description. All right. So let's get into this energy real nice. Meditate here on the 3 cards and pick the one that calmly draws you the most. This is card 1, the Temperance, card 2, Justice, and card 3, Queen of Wands. All right, so let's get straight into it. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Today's title is How Does He View You Right Now? Now listen, this is not surface level. This is not what he says. This is not what he shows. We're about to uncover what's actually going on inside this man's head. Because let's be real for a second. If you've been feeling like he's watching you, thinking about you, moving a little different, acting interested but not fully revealing his hand, it's not your imagination. Something shifted, and today is when you find out what it is. We are pulling back the curtain on how he really perceives you, what he notices that he doesn't admit, and why you're not just another option, and what makes you stand out in his mind compared to everyone else. And here's the thing, this man is not confused. He's processing. And there's a big difference. By the end of this reading, you're going to understand why he can't see you casually, why your presence lingers, and why the power dynamic is not what you think it is. So if you have been wondering, what does he really think about me? Why does this feel unfinished? Why do I feel like he sees me differently? This is the moment you get answers. Now, real quick, before we jump into pile one, for a limited time, I'm still offering my 3 for $33. You can ask me any 3 questions about this man, a new relationship, new love, your career, your money, or if you just need spiritual life coaching, I got you. The link is in the description. All right, pile one, your energy pulled you straight to the Temperance card. And let me just say this. Honey, the Temperance energy is different. And this is how this man views you. Look, you are not a regular person in his mind, okay? He does not see you as chaos. He does not see you as drama. He does not see you as someone who has to he has to brace himself for. He sees you as a balance that can't be faked. And let me tell you why that matters. Because this man is used to extremes, right? People who are either doing too much, asking for too much, emotionally loud, or secretly unstable. But you're steady without being boring. You're calm without being passive. You are warm without chasing. See, temperance is the energy of someone who has mastered themselves. And that's exactly how he sees you. Emotionally mature, self-controlled, unbothered, and not easily moved. This is the kind of energy that makes a man slow down and think, I can't rush this. I can't play with this. I need to be intentional with her. And here's the part people don't talk about. Temperance energy intimidates immature men, but it attracts grounded ones. So that's why he doesn't come in reckless. That's why he watches with words. That's why he feels the need to pace himself, because he knows you're not someone he can impress with talk, only with consistency. Now listen, this is just the surface. We got 6 cards more to go total in this pile. And with every card, we're peeling back another layer of how he really sees you, what he's holding back, and why this connection hits deeper than he expected. So let's go ahead and pull your first card, because this next energy explains why he can't treat you casually, even if he wanted to. All right, so let's do it. What is the energy as it does relate? Thank you, Spirit. This is card 1. And you got the Cat, independent. Your card says you are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd, and life supports you in every way. That's just the first card. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull your second card, and then we will channel both energies together. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? You got the Pilgrim. Now that's interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the Cat, and then we'll slide straight here to the Pilgrim. All right, so look, let's talk about this. And let me be clear. You got the Cat, independence. This man views you as someone who cannot be controlled, rushed, or molded. The Cat energy says you are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't follow the crowd, and life supports you in every way. But here's how he experiences that. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You don't need to be chosen. And that right there, baby, that's what separates you from everybody else, because you're not loud about your independence. You're not loud about it. You just move like you trust yourself. And this man notices that. He sees you as self-contained, observant, selective, and emotionally sovereign. This is the kind of energy that makes a man think. She's not here to attach. She's here to align. And alignment hits different than attention. Now listen, because when this Cat energy comes out first, it means that he knows you're not someone he can play with. You choose, you don't chase. And let's go deeper. All right, baby, your second card, you got the Pilgrim. And it's interesting, right? It's very interesting, because when we slide from the Cat to the Pilgrim, here's what's coming through. This man doesn't just see you as independent. He sees you as someone who has walked through life, learned, evolved, and refined herself. The Pilgrim energy is about wisdom earned through experience. not rushing the journey, and choosing meaning over noise, and trusting your own path. So when he looks at you, he doesn't think she's been through a lot. He thinks she knows who she is. And that's powerful. Okay, now let's blend these two energies together. The cat plus the pilgrim says you are independent and intentional, intuitive and grounded, healed without being hardened, selective without being closed. And this is where his curiosity turns into respect, because he knows you don't need saving. You don't need convincing. You don't need direction. You already walk in your own path. Now, here's the part that matters. When a man meets a woman with the cat plus pilgrim energy, he doesn't rush her. He slows himself down because he understands if I want access to her, I have to show up correctly. And look, y'all, we're only on card 2. We still have 4 more cards. And one of them is about to show how his feelings shift when he realizes you're not like the rest. So let's go ahead and pull your 3rd card, because the next energy is where things start getting personal. All right, so let's go. What is the energy as it does relate, and what is coming through, Spirit? You know what? I'm going to go here. What is the energy as it does relate? Card 3. And you have, y'all, this is card 3 and you have the 3rd house. Okay, that's a synchronicity. The 3rd house is about speech and thoughts, social media, dating, siblings, research. It's about communication, okay? Discussion, your surroundings, the street life. So somebody got a street side about them, okay? And I think that's you. That's you too. He may be from the streets too, but baby, you from the streets, but it's not out in the open. So let me just say this. People may read you wrong because they think you're for play. They think you're for play until they find out otherwise. And it's not that you're going to hurt someone intentionally or do anything bad, but it's just like you don't play. But let me go into detail about this 3rd house. Look, honey, let me just say this. You pulled the 3rd house, your energy, okay? And like I said, that's not random. That's a synchronicity. Because the 3rd house, again, is about communication, speech, dating, social media, siblings, street awareness, and how much you move through everyday life. Now, the 3rd house is a house in an astrological birth chart. So this is astrology energy, okay? So you probably have a strong 3rd house in your birth chart. And I also offer birth chart readings for those of you that want that. That's on my website. Okay, but let's just keep going. But when the 3rd house comes up and how he views you, he sees layers. But let me say this clearly. There is a street side to this energy. And yeah, he might have some street in him too, but baby, you do as well. The difference is yours isn't loud. Yours isn't sloppy. Yours isn't out in the open. It's contained. Here's how people read you and how they get it wrong. People look at you and they think, oh, she's calm. She's sweet. She's easygoing. They think you're playing until they realize you're not. You don't broadcast power. You don't announce boundaries. You don't threaten. You just know how to move, like the cat. And once people figure that out, they recalibrate. Now, here's how he sees this 3rd house energy in you. He clocks that you're sharp with your words. You don't overtalk. You don't explain yourself twice. You read situations fast. You understand people without saying much. That's not innocence. That's awareness. And it makes him respect you even more, even if he doesn't say it. So this is the kind of woman that people underestimate once and only once, because you're not aggressive. You're not reactive. You're not confrontational, but you are perceptive, mentally quick, socially intelligent, emotionally disciplined. You know when to speak. You know when to stay silent. And that's third house mastery. So Spirit is saying this clearly, that you have lived life. You've seen things. You have navigated real situations, but you don't wear it on your sleeve. And when a man recognizes that in a woman, he knows, I can't play dumb with her. Now listen, we have uncovered the cat, independence, the temperance, emotional, the pilgrim, which is lived wisdom, and the third house, street smart, communication. And we're only halfway in, because listen, the next cards will show how this shifts his behavior, where his curiosity turns personal, and why he realizes you're not someone he can test. So let's go ahead and pull your fourth card, because this next energy explains why he moves more carefully with you than he does with others. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? All right, what is the energy, Spirit, as it does relate? And you got soon. I'm going to contact you soon. Look. Listen. Now, let me be very clear about this energy, because this is not fantasy talk. This is not hype. This is intentional timing. Here's what Spirit is saying about this soon energy. This man is already mentally there. He's not debating if, he's deciding now. So soon doesn't mean impulsive. Soon doesn't mean reckless. Soon doesn't mean random. It means he's thought about it. He's rehearsed it. He knows what he wants to say, and he wants to show up correctly. This is not a late night just checking in message. This is, let me come correct. Now let's connect this to the cards we already pulled. Temperance. He's pacing himself. The cat. He knows you're independent. Pilgrim. He respects your journey. Third house. Communication matters. And soon, action follows intention. You see the progression? Do you see the progression? This isn't mixed signals. This is measured movement. So what he is telling himself right now is this. Spirit is saying that his internal dialogue sounds like, I don't want to rush this. I want to be clear. Timing matters. She's not someone you can approach halfway. So he waits, not because he's unsure, but because he wants it to land right. And let me say this part clearly. This contact is not about curiosity. It's not, what are you doing? How have you been? Just wanted to say hi. It's about reopening space. Because once he reaches out, he already knows the door doesn't stay open forever. So Spirit's message to you is this. You're not meant to initiate this. you're meant to receive. Stay where you are, stay in your lane, and stay unbothered. Because this soon energy moves when you're not watching the clock. You're not checking signs. You're not leaning forward. That's when intention turns into action. And we're not done yet. We still have cards that show what he's hoping for when he contacts you, what he expects from the interaction, and how this communication shifts the dynamic. So let's go ahead and pull your next card, because this next energy explains what happens after he reaches out. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. You got the Fool. Yes, ma'am. And you heard that correctly. Now listen, this is important, because the Fool is not stupidity. It's courage without overthinking. And this tells me exactly how he views approaching you. Here's what the Fool energy is saying: that this man knows that reaching out to you feels like taking a risk, stepping into the unknown, putting pride to the side, and leading with honesty instead of control. And for someone like him, that's not casual. The Fool says, I know I can't calculate this perfectly, but I'm willing to try. Now, how this connects to the earlier cards, the Temperance, is he paced himself. The Cat, he knows you're independent. Pilgrim, he respects your journey. Third house, communication matters. Soon, timing is approaching. The Fool, action without over planning. Do you see it? This is the moment where thought turns into movement. So what he's feeling internally right now, Spirit is saying, he knows he cannot approach you guarded. He knows he can't play cool. He knows he has to come as himself. And that's why this feels big to him, because you're not someone he can impress with lines. You require you require authentic presence. The Fool also says this: he sees you as someone who won't judge him for being human, who won't punish honesty, who won't play games. But he also knows that you won't tolerate nonsense. So this isn't reckless energy. This is intentional vulnerability. And Spirit's message here is clear. The connection requires truth, openness, and a willingness to step forward without guarantees. And he knows that. So that's why this move takes courage, because once he steps in, he can't hide behind distance anymore. And let me say this plainly. The Fool doesn't come up when someone is unsure. It comes up when someone says, I'd rather take the chance than live in regret. I'd rather take the chance than live in regret. We're coming to the final stretch now. The next energy shows what he hopes happens when he reaches out, how the dynamic shifts, and what this means long-term for the connection. So let's go ahead and move into the final card, because this last piece ties everything together. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? You got heartbroken. The card says deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. And listen, this is not about you breaking him. This is about what already lives inside him before he even steps towards you. So this card, right? It says deeply hurt, sad separation, breakup, grieving, and feeling lost. But here's the key part people miss. What this actually means in this spread is that this is residual pain, not current drama. So Spirit is showing that a past emotional wound, a separation that changed him, and something he never fully processed, something he carries quietly. This is the energy he's coming from, not the energy he's bringing to you. So how he views you through this card, and this is important, he does not see you as chaotic, unsafe, triggering, or someone who will add to his pain. He sees you as calm in contrast to his past. So that's why earlier we saw the temperance, which is balance. The cat, self-contained, not needy. Pilgrim, someone who's done the work. Third house, clear communication. Soon, movement. And the fool, which is risk with intention. So now heartbroken shows up to say, I've been hurt and I don't want to repeat that. What he's really telling himself internally, Spirit says he's saying things like, I don't want to mess this up. I'm not trying to bleed on someone new. She doesn't deserve my unfinished pain. I need to approach this differently. This is emotional accountability, not avoidance. So why does this not mean emotional unavailability? Let me be very clear. Heartbroken, right? It's closed off. It's not closed off. Heartbroken is not necessarily stuck in the past, okay? Heartbroken here means that he remembers what it cost to love recklessly. He respects what real connection requires, and he's cautious because he values peace now. And guess what? That's why you stand out. Because your energy doesn't demand fixing. It doesn't rush. It doesn't pry. You feel safe without trying. Spirit's truth bomb here. This card is saying he's not afraid of love. He's afraid of repeating pain. And the reason this connection moves differently is because you don't resemble the wound. You resemble the healing. Now listen, this heartbreak energy is the last layer before something real, which means that the next phase is about emotional stabilization, intentional bonding, and choosing differently than before. This isn't messy energy. This is mature, self-aware energy. All right? Now we are ready for the total energetic frequency. And I was saving this as something for the total energetic frequency because it's going to tie everything together. It's probably going to shock you and knock you off your seat, but it's okay. You need to know. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Clarity family. Here's the thing. Everything that we just pulled, every card, every message, every feeling, it all funnels into this one truth. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like I just said, this is the part that tends to shock people. Not in a scary way, in a wait, that makes so much sense way. This is the part that connects. Why he's moving the way he's moving, why the timing feels intentional, and why this energy doesn't feel chaotic like the past. So take a breath, y'all, because we getting ready to get into this. And it's real, okay? All right, here's the truth. This situation is not about him being unsure about you. It's about him realizing you are not like what he's used to, and that is different. So let's break this down clear. You came through as temperance, balanced, healed, emotionally regulated. The cat, independent, self-sufficient, intuitive, not chasing. Third house, sharp communicator, street smart, socially aware. The pilgrim, someone who's lived life, learned lessons, evolved. Soon, contact, timing is already in motion. The fool, A new beginning that feels risky but exciting. Heartbroken. His past pain, not yours. You put all that together, and here's the frequency. You activate his awareness. You activate his healing. You activate his fear of messing it up. That's the part people don't talk about. He's not pulling back because he's confused. He's processing because he feels the weight of you. You're not triggering his lust. You're not triggering his ego. You're triggering his conscious. And that's why the energy shifts. He realizes very quickly, I can't play with her. I can't half show up. I can't approach this the way I did before. That heartbroken card, that's him remembering the versions of himself that lost something real or ruined something real, and realizing he doesn't want to repeat the pattern with you. So the processing isn't distance, it's recalibration. He slows down not to leave, but to get it right. And here's the part that shocks people. You are actually calmer than he is about this. You're curious, you're open, but you're not attached to outcome. Meanwhile, he's internally asking, am I emotionally available enough for this woman? Can I lead her the way she deserves? Do I rise or do I lose her? That's the energetic imbalance, and it's intentional. Because for once, you are the steady one. This connection doesn't rush, it stabilizes. It doesn't burn fast, it builds right. And whether this becomes a long-term partnership or a pivotal, y'all, this man got me stumbling over my words. Who is this man? Whether this becomes a long-term partnership or a pivotal chapter, one thing is clear. You are not here to chase. You are here to be met. And he feels that immediately. That's the total energetic frequency. Now listen, y'all. Clarity family. If this message found you, it wasn't by accident. Something is already shifting and you don't need to force it. Remember, you're not here to prove yourself. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to be recognized. For a limited time, I'm still offering my 3 for $33. Ask me any 3 questions about love, this man, a new relationship, your money, your career, or spiritual life guidance. The link is in the description. Move how you always do. Calm, grounded, unbothered. What's meant for you won't miss you. Always sending you love and clarity. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Today's title is, How Does He View You Right Now? And listen, this one isn't surface level. We're not guessing. We're not romanticizing. We're getting inside this man's actual mindset. What he's noticing, what he's weighing, and what he's not saying out loud. Because some of you already feel it. Something about the way he looks at you, the way he pauses, the way his energy shifts when you're around. Yeah, so today is when it clicks. Before we get into it, real quick, for a limited time, I'm still offering my 3 for $33. Ask me any 3 questions about this man, a new relationship, love, money, career, or spiritual life coaching. The link is in the description. All right, pile 2, your energy brought you here for a reason. And you are drawn here to the Justice card. Now, let me tell you right now, this man does not view you lightly. He does not view you casually. And he definitely does not view you as someone he can play with. The Justice card means that he sees you as someone who balances the room, someone who brings truth to the surface without trying, someone who makes him check himself internally. You don't even have to say much. Your presence already asks questions. And for some of you, that's exactly why he's moving carefully. All right, pile two, you got 6 cards coming through. Each one is going to peel back another layer of how he's viewing you, not just emotionally, but mentally and energetically. So let's go ahead and pull your first card. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. You got the Lizard, regeneration. Your card says, as a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. That's card 1. We're going to go ahead and pull card 2, and then we will channel both energies together. All right. Card 2 is the Nectar. All right, so let's go ahead and channel the energy of the Lizard, and we'll get into the Nectar. All right. So, listen. This card is big. This isn't healing energy. This is survivor mastery. Your card says, as a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. Now, let me tell you how this shows up in his eyes. He doesn't see you as someone who went through things. He sees you as someone who outgrew things. Now, that's different. You don't carry damage. You carry evolution. So there's a quiet confidence about you that says, I've been tested and I'm still standing. And that's why he feels slightly checked around you, because this is not someone he can impress with surface level anything. You have already been through the fire, so he knows he has to come correct. Now, notice something important. The Lizard doesn't announce its power. It regenerates silently. That's you. You don't explain your strength. You embody it. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull card 2. We're going to look at card 2. We already pulled it. And then we'll blend these energies together, because this next card explains why he's drawn to you the way that he is. So let's talk about the Nectar. The Nectar is attraction, but not desperation. It's sweetness that comes naturally. This is the energy of someone who has earned their softness. So when we combine the Lizard plus Nectar, this is what Spirit is saying. You are both resilient and inviting, strong and warm, self-contained and magnetic. That's rare. This man doesn't just feel chemistry, he feels safety mixed with desire. And that combination, that's what makes him slow down and actually consider you. Because Nectar energy isn't chased, it's noticed. And regeneration energy, it can't be manipulated. It's respected. So already, just with these first 2 cards, Spirit is making something very clear. He doesn't see you as someone passing through life. He sees you as someone who has arrived. And trust me, the next cards only make this louder. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What is coming through? Thank you, Spirit. You got the 11th house. There are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart. This is the 11th. Now let me explain how this relates to how he views you. Listen. All right. Now, this is important because the 11th house is future focused energy. This is friendships that turn into something more, long-term visions, shared ideals, community networks, and where it's going energy. So let me explain how this relates to how he views you. He doesn't just see you in the present moment. He sees you in future space. This is not just chemistry. This is consideration. So in his mind, you fall into the category of, could this person fit into my life long term? How would this look down the road? And would she align with the life I'm building? That's 11th house thinking. And notice something else. The 11th house comes after the 10th house, right? Which the 10th house was in pile 1. I know that's not your pile, but we did pull the 10th house. Okay, so he's evaluating you as someone who could be a partner, could be a friend, could be someone he respects and actually enjoys being around. Not someone he hides, not someone he keeps separate, someone he could stand beside. And paired with the lizard, which is regeneration, and nectar, earned softness, this tells me that he sees you as evolved and compatible. You're not chaotic. You're not draining. You don't pull him out of his life. You fit into it. And that's why his energy feels steady around you. See, this is the kind of energy that says, I'm not rushing because I'm actually thinking. So let's keep going. Because the next card shows what he plans to do with these thoughts. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What is coming through? Unblock me. He says, I miss you and I want to connect. Please unblock me, literally or energetically, so we can speak. I have a lot to say. We all know that feeling, right? Shoot, I got somebody blocked too, y'all. I got a few people blocked, but we all know this feeling when you got to block somebody. But let me tell you how it relates to this person, this man. Listen. This man is like, damn, if we could just talk. This is not about desperation. This is about containment. So he feels like you're emotionally unavailable by design. Not cold, not closed, but protected. And that does something to him because your energy doesn't chase, explain, or linger. You don't hoover, you don't circle back unnecessarily. So from this perspective, it feels like she's not blocked to the world, but I don't fully have access. That's the tension. And the unblock me energy isn't literal in most cases. Okay? It's permission. Permission to speak honestly, open dialogue, and move past surface level interaction. He has things that he has not said yet, questions he hasn't asked yet, and feelings that he hasn't fully articulated yet. But here's the key part, and don't miss this. He doesn't want to force access to you. So that's why this energy shows up as longing instead of pressure. He's waiting for the moment where the conversation opens naturally. The timing feels right. The space feels safe because he knows once it opens, it's real. Right? And with your 11th house energy, This isn't about texting nonsense or small talk. This is about a meaningful exchange. So, yes, he wants to connect. Yes, he misses the potential of that connection. And yes, he has a lot to say. But he's also aware that once the door opens, there's no going back to shallow. So that's why this moment matters. All right, let's keep going because the next energy shows what stops him from speaking sooner and what changes when he finally does. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What is coming through? And you got the Temperance card. Y'all, if unbothered was a person, it's the Temperance, okay? But this explains everything because temperance is not confusion. Temperance is self-control. So this man is not holding back because he doesn't feel. He's holding back because he feels a lot and he's trying to do it right. Temperance is the card of balance, patience, timing, and emotional regulation. So here's how it relates to him and you. He's actively managing himself around you, not suppressing, moderating. He's mixing logic with emotion, desire with respect, impulse with restraint. Because the moment he steps forward, he knows it matters. Temperance also shows delayed action for a higher outcome. He doesn't want to rush a conversation he can't take back. He doesn't want to open a door unless he's already walked through it with integrity. And remember that unblocked me energy? Okay, Temperance says, I want access, but only when I can show up centered. So instead of blurting things out or pushing, he's calibrating. How do I say this? When do I say this? How do I keep this clean and respectful? This is why his energy feels steady, not chaotic. Why the chemistry feels contained instead of explosive. Why nothing about this feels sloppy. Because Temperance is also the alchemist, which means he's trying to turn attraction into something sustainable, not just a moment. So no, this isn't hesitation from fear. This is patience from awareness. And that's a good thing because when Temperance finally moves, it moves intentionally. All right. Now, we are ready to tie this together because the next piece shows what happens when balance tips into action. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. You got stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking, attack. See, he knows you don't play because you were betrayed before by someone you trusted deeply. Look. Now, this card is not about drama. It's about context, okay? Because the energy is explaining why Temperance is here and why he's moving the way he is. So here's the truth of it. This man and you, but this man has been betrayed by someone he trusted deeply. Not a small letdown, not communication, a core level breach of trust. And because of that, he learned something the hard way. Not everyone who feels good is safe. So, and you are the same way. This is like a mirror moment. So when he looks at you, he's not projecting fear onto you. He's projecting what matters to him. This card says He's cautious with his heart. He doesn't open up fast anymore, and he takes his time because he's been burned before. And so have you. That stabbed in the back energy is why he's regulating himself instead of rushing. And here's the important part. Don't miss this, because he's not suspicious of you. He's cautious because of his past. You didn't cause this wall. You're the reason he's considering lowering it carefully. So that's why the energy has felt respectful, paced, intentional, not hot and cold, not chaotic and not manipulative, because he's saying to himself, I won't survive another betrayal. So if I do this, I have to do it right. And that's exactly why Spirit brought this card up. Not to scare you, but to explain the method behind his movement. And you already know that method because you have lived this experience as well. All right. Now we're ready, because once this card shows up, Spirit always follows it with the integration and how pain turns itself into wisdom and what this connection activates next. So what we're going to do is jump into the total energetic frequency of this reading. Thank you, Spirit. All right, Clarity family. As we just take a gentle pause, because the total energetic frequency of this reading is controlled depth. This is not a fast-moving, reckless connection, at least not in this moment. This is a measured, intentional unfolding. And so here's what Spirit made clear, that this man views you as someone who is worth pacing himself for. You activate his desire and his discipline, his attraction and his integrity, his emotions and his discernment. And that combination is rare. The lizard showed us that he sees your resilience. You don't just survive, you regenerate. The nectar showed us that your softness is earned, not performative. The 11th house showed us that he's pacing you in future thinking, long-term space. The unblock me energy showed us his desire for real conversation and emotional access, not control. Temperance showed us his restraint and respect for timing, and stabbed in the back explained why he doesn't rush, because he's been betrayed before and refuses to repeat that lesson. So the total energetic frequency is this. He is approaching you with intention, not impulse. He is balancing, wanting you, respecting you, and protecting his heart at the same time. This is someone who doesn't want to get it wrong. And Spirit wants you to know this too. You don't need to do anything differently. You don't need to open faster. You don't need to reassure him. Your energy is already communicating. I'm safe, but I'm not careless. That's why this connection feels steady instead of chaotic. This is the kind of energy that builds slowly and lasts. Clarity family. Listen, that's the message. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and trust what you feel, not just what you hear. This connection isn't rushed, it's not chaotic, it's intentional. And when something is moving with intention, it doesn't need pressure, it needs patience. If this reading brought you clarity, remember, I'm still offering my 3 for $33 for a limited time. Any 3 questions, love, this man, your future, money, or spiritual life coaching, the link is in the description. Move with grace, move with discernment, and most of all, move knowing your energy speaks before you ever say a word, with love and clarity. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Today's title is, How Does He View You Right Now? And listen, this one isn't subtle. This isn't mixed signals. This isn't confusion. This is about why this man notices you the moment you enter the room and why your energy does something to him that he can't ignore or downplay. We're about to get into what he sees, what he feels, and what he knows, even if he hasn't said it yet. But before we do, real quick, for a limited time, I'm still offering my 3 for $33. Any 3 questions this man, a new relationship, love, money, career, or spiritual life coaching, the link is in the description. All right, pile 3, your energy brought you here for a reason. The Queen of Wands. Let me tell you something. Immediately, this man does not see you as passive. He does not see you as background energy. He's definitely does not see you as someone he can overlook. The Queen of Wands is presence, confidence without effort, attraction without chasing. He sees you as bold without being loud, magnetic without trying, self-assured without explanation. You don't ask for attention, you command it. And that's exactly why he's aware of you. Pile 3, you got 6 cards coming through. Each card is going to reveal another layer of how he views you mentally, emotionally, and energetically. So let's go ahead and pull your first card. All right. Now pay attention because this first card sets the tone, right? And once you understand this, it makes the rest of the reading starts to make sense. And by the time we get to the total energetic frequency, you're going to see why he can't treat you casually, even if he tried. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your first card. What is the energy as it does relate? And you have the Lynx, Lynx, Keeper of Secrets. And your card says, take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. Child, and that is just your first card. I could imagine, honey, I'm feeling the heat in this reading already. So let's see what's going on with your second card, and then we will channel both energies together. What is the energy as it does relate? The second card says the Sword. All right, let's jump into the Lynx, and then we'll move straight into the Sword energy. Okay. Look, y'all. Now listen closely. This card is powerful, okay? Now let me tell you how this relates to how he views you. He sees you as unreadable in the best way. You don't overshare. You don't explain yourself unnecessarily. You don't tell everything you know. And trust me, he feels that. There's something about you that makes him think she knows more than she lets on. You watch, you listen, you clock patterns, and you move accordingly. The Lynx, that Lynx energy is quiet authority. You don't expose people. You just see them. And that does 2 things to him, okay? It fascinates him. It makes him very aware that he can't fake anything around you because nothing slips past you. Now, let me say this clearly. This is not secrecy from fear. This is discernment. You don't talk just to talk. You don't react just to react. You observe first. And that's why your presence feels intense, even when you're calm. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your second card here, because this card explains how he responds to that quiet power, okay? The Sword. Now let's talk, because the Sword is clarity, truth, mental sharpness, direct perception. So when we combine the Lynx plus the sword, this message is saying that you are someone who sees clearly and cuts cleanly. You don't argue, you don't beg, you don't chase conversations. You simply decide. And from his perspective, this is intimidating, but also attractive because he knows you won't tolerate dishonesty. You won't play dumb. And once you see something, you can't unsee it. So he's very aware that whatever he brings to you has to be real. No fluff, no manipulation, no half truths. Because you don't swing the sword recklessly. But when you do, it's precise. So that's why this reading already feels hot. Because this isn't flirty energy. This is power meets desire. And trust me, the next card is going to show how this makes him either rise or reveal himself. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What is coming through? All right, you got the 12th house. This is the house of surrender. And just so y'all know, there are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart. This is the 12th, honey. So let me tell you how this does relate to how he views you. Because this is deep. This is deep. Again, this is the 12th house of surrender, the subconscious, hidden emotions, spiritual bonds, things you feel before you can explain. Now, let me tell you exactly how this relates to how he views you, because this energy is not light energy. The 12th house means you bypass logic. You don't just exist in his conscious mind. You show up in his inner world. This is the kind of energy where he thinks about you in quiet moments. You come up in his dreams or late at night. He feels you emotionally before he understands why. You activate parts of him he doesn't normally let people access. And paired with the lynx, which is the keeper of secrets, and the sword, that's clarity and truth. Now, here's the truth. He feels like you see him without trying. Not judging, not prying, just knowing. The 12th house is also where defenses dissolve. So when he's around you, he feels less guarded, more introspective, more aware of his own emotions. And that can feel intense because this isn't surface attraction. This is energetic recognition. You represent a space where he can't hide from himself. And that's why he may not always he may not always know how to act around you, because you bring him into a level of emotional honesty he's not used to living in all the time. Okay? So how does he view you? As someone who feels spiritually significant, who touches parts of him that are private, and carries a depth he can't rush. This is surrender energy, not weakness, depth. All right, now let's keep it moving, because the next card shows what he does with these feelings. And that's where this really starts to shift. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. All right. This is card 4, and it says, missing you. The card says, I miss you. I wish things were different. All right. Now listen carefully. This is not surface level missing. This is not boredom. This is not nostalgia. This is emotional absence awareness. Here's how this relates to how he views you. He feels your absence even when you're not gone. See, that's 12th house energy mixed with Link's energy. You leave an imprint. He replays moments. He thinks about conversations that didn't happen. He wonders how things might look if timing, circumstance, or readiness were different. And the key phrase here is, I wish things were different. So that tells me two things. These are feelings he hasn't fully acted on yet. And number two, there are realities he's still navigating internally. This isn't regret from loss. This is longing from restraint. So yeah, he's aware that something meaningful exists here, but he's also aware that meaningful things require the right alignment. So when he misses you, it's quiet, private, internal. He doesn't broadcast it. He carries it. And that makes this energy heavy, but intentional. All right, let's keep going because card 5 shows what stops him from closing the distance right now and what shifts when he does. So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? All right, your card says strength. 5th card, strength. Okay. Now listen, this card explains everything about how he's holding himself together around you. Strength is not force. Strength is restraint. So this man is actively managing his emotions when it comes to you. He's not weak for you. He's controlled for you. And that's a big difference. See, because strength says that he feels deeply, but he doesn't let feelings run him. He chooses composure over impulse. So when we connect this to the missing you card, here's what's really happening. He misses you, but he doesn't want to act from longing alone. He's telling himself, if I step forward, I need to do it with integrity. If I open this door, I can't rush it. If I choose her, I have to show up correctly. That's strength energy. He's not suppressing attraction, he's channeling it. And paired with the links, quiet observation, sword, clarity and truth, 12th house, deep subconscious bond. This tells me he views you as someone who requires emotional maturity. You don't pull chaos out of him, you pull self-awareness out of him. Strength also shows respect. He doesn't want to mishandle you. He doesn't want to act sloppy. He doesn't want to lose control and regret it later. So yes, he feels it. Yes, he misses you, but he's choosing patience over impulse. All right, now we're at the point where everything clicks because the next piece is the one that pulls all of this together and shows the direction this energy is moving. So let's go. All right, what is the energy as it does relate and what's coming through? You got X. AX, honey. Breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Okay, y'all. Now let me be very clear about how this relates because this is not about him wanting to lose you. This card is about pattern awareness. This man recognizes a cycle either from his past or from previous connections where things got intense, emotions weren't communicated clearly, Silence replaced honesty, and separation became the default instead of resolution. And here's the key: he does not want to repeat that pattern with you. That's why this card came out after strength, because he's actively checking himself. He's saying internally, I can't disappear. I can't shut down. I can't default to distance when things get real. So if you felt moments where his energy pauses or slows, this isn't abandonment. It's a conscious interruption of an old response. So he knows that silent treatment and emotional withdrawal ruin good connections. And because he actually values you, he's trying to do this differently. So this card also shows fear of loss, not desire for it. So he's aware that if he mishandles this, he could lose something real. And that awareness is what's keeping him present instead of reactive. So how does he view you through this lens? As someone who breaks old cycles, someone who doesn't deserve disappearing acts, emotional punishment, or unresolved endings. So that's why this energy feels careful instead of chaotic. So that's why also, all right, now everything is on the table, okay? We've seen attraction, the depth, the restraint, the longing, and the fear of repeating the past, which means we're ready to pull it all together. So let's go. All right. The total energetic frequency of this reading is controlled intensity with conscious restraint. This man does not view you lightly. He does not view you casually. And he definitely does not view you as someone he can repeat old patterns with. Here's what Spirit made clear. You activate his self-awareness. The links showed us that he knows you see everything, and you don't reveal what you know unless it matters. The sword showed us that he understands your value, truth over performance. He understands that that's what you value. The 12th house showed us that you live in his subconscious. This connection touches him in a way, on a level that he doesn't rationalize away. The missing you card, it confirmed emotional attachment and longing. Strength showed us restraint, discipline, and respect. And the axe, breakup, separation, showed us that he is consciously trying to end old cycles of silence, withdrawal, and abandonment. So the frequency here is this. He is aware that if he mishandles you, he loses you. And that awareness changes how he moves. You don't trigger chaos in him, you trigger growth. You represent a connection that asks him to communicate instead of disappearing. Stay present instead of shutting down. Choose maturity over fear. This is not someone playing games. This is someone checking himself. And Spirit wants you to know this part clearly. You are not here to heal him. You are here to set a new standard. If he rises, he rises. If he doesn't, you don't shrink. That Queen of Wands energy, that's it. All right, Clarity family, that's the message. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and trust what your intuition already knows. You are not meant to chase. You are not meant to convince. You are not meant to explain your worth. Your presence already speaks. And remember, I'm still offering my 3 for $33 for a limited time. Any 3 questions, love, this man, your future, money, career, or spiritual life coaching, the link is in the description. Stand tall, stay magnetic, and never dim an energy that naturally commands respect. With love and clarity.